In the depths of suffering, character is formed. The path to wisdom often leads through adversity. Suffering is the true test of life's potential. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. Sometimes you must suffer in order to know, endure in order to grow, and lose in order to gain. Suffering is part of our training program for becoming wise. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The best people are those most accustomed to bearing suffering. In suffering we find our truest selves. The art of living lies less in eliminating our troubles than growing with them. Without suffering, we cannot fully understand joy. Adversity introduces a man to himself. Suffering is a gift, in its hidden mercy. There are things we can learn in suffering that we can learn in no other way. Suffering has been stronger than all other teaching. Suffering is not a punishment, it is a result. Only through suffering can we rise above. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Suffering is nature's way of strengthening. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Suffering is the sandpaper of our incarnation. It does its work of shaping us. Suffering is universal. It's the way we react to suffering that makes us different. The most beautiful people are those who have known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. Suffering is the true test of life. Suffering teaches patience, endurance, and resilience. Sometimes suffering is just suffering. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't build character. It only hurts. In the midst of winter, we find within ourselves an invincible summer. Suffering carves out the space within us for joy to reside. Without pain, there would be no compassion. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. There is no coming to consciousness without pain. Suffering is the tuition one pays for a character degree. Often it is the deepest pain which empowers you to grow into your highest self. Life's trials are not easy, but in God's will, each has a purpose. Through suffering, we learn the appreciation of beauty. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened. Sometimes in tragedy we find our life's purpose. There is a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Suffering is the price of being alive. We learn more in our valley experiences than on our mountaintops. Suffering becomes beautiful when anyone bears great calamities with cheerfulness, not through insensibility, but through greatness of mind. Suffering can be a blessing if it leads us to the truth. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. We are not defined by our trials, but by how we face them. We are all afraid. Bravery is a choice, that though you may lose, you shall never be defeated. Suffering is the essence of success.